Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So when I was a kid, I was always curious into knowing like how these online companies manage their infrastructure. Okay, what goes inside, like how they manage live user base. And after doing a job, I realized how hard it is to manage a live user base. And there are so many decision makings which you have to do, which are so critical. And it can never there can never be one single formula which I can give you, which will teach you like how to make technical decisions. Okay, it always comes down to a lot of factors, real time factors, like currently what's best. And this is something which you cannot just learn by just following some particular series of instructions. Okay, so I want to show you like the back end of the project which I'm doing. Okay, so I'm also now a solo founder. I'm writing something of my own. So I want to show you like what goes inside like the back end. Okay, so first let me just show you. So this is the tool. One second. Okay, so I just deployed this dev environment, and let me just demonstrate like some things. Make her press red. So basically, it's just one single chat interface, like AI first chat interface, which is giving access to many like a lot of functions. Okay, it just do things like it just provides some value in some way. But let's just not focus on the like front end part. Okay, so let's just take some another agent. So there are multiple agents like so. Okay, so it will find it. All right. So basically, this whole system I'm working on recently, and it have like a lot of components which I have worked on, and now I have a team. So I need to decide a lot of things like how these guys can do development. So this is why recently I just deployed this dev environment. So when you see any live infrastructure, there have to be multiple environment. One is production environment, and one is staging environment where you do all the upcoming changes, testing, and development in general. Okay, so that's the door. Okay, so let me just open my T lots. So I am using AWS. Now, why I'm using AWS? Because it gives me reliability. Okay, so there are four components. One is like, okay, there are three main production EC2 instances. One is this business, which handle all the money related stuff like Stripe payment and user authentication, login, and all those stuff. Okay, there is this EISys component, which is the most hardest component which I wrote in just past. It took me 1 month to just finish this thing. This project was tough one for me. So what EISys is, it's the whole you know AI logic. Okay, like disconnecting from particular agent, connecting to another agent. And then there is this like MCP hub. All right, so this is basically all the agents are MCP servers. So hub just connects with the multiple MCP servers. And after this, I deployed this EC2 instance recently, which I'm going to show you. This is basically the dev environment. Okay, so this one EC2, I have deployed all my component in this is EC2 instance. And in order to do the development, and I have like a lot of small stuff too, which so these are EC2 only, but there are multiple programs. So for example, this .mser. So instead of having like messy .env files here and there, this is just like one single .n server which I have created in Python, and it just gives you the API of those secrets, and it uses RSA encryption. So this is where you can learn. Like I had option of using things like HashiCorp Vault, which is the standard like of managing secrets. But I decided that this project is small and I don't need to use such complex things. I can just write something of my own, which can be more better for me, and it does work out well. So I'm using Pocket Base too. So the reason I decided to use Pocket Base is because I already made a video about like Pocket Base. So Pocket Base just I don't know like which Pocket Base instance I should show you. So this is not my production Pocket Base, it's just some random Pocket Base. I just want to show you that um what it looks like the Pocket Base interface. So Pocket Base is a project which is like well tested, well implemented. Okay, so it just handles like OAuth. It just handles so many things already for me. So instead of like writing all this code by myself, it's better to rely on Pocket Base. Okay, but now some people might say that Pocket Base is not really scalable. But if I see my current project, like it's not such a big thing. Okay, so I'm just storing like all the these are random phone numbers, random information. Okay, So I just want to store the information of the user in Pocket Base. It's just bunch of data. I'm not doing any real time operation with Pocket Base. So this is why, like for business logic, like I just use Pocket Base. All right. So other than that, I am using like front end is in written in Cert, this front end, and I use Cert because Cert is something which I was comfortable with, and I realized like how many people suggested me. I even wrote it in React once because some people said like you won't get Svelte developers, but later I realized I don't really want to depend on anyone else, and React was kind of bloat for me. So other than that, this AI says this is something where I'm not using any framework. Like I am using LangChain and stuff, but this is like really raw. Okay, it's all written by myself mostly, and I'm not. I am using like Fast API, and dependency injection pattern of Fast API. But yeah, there is no like service which I'm using. Okay, so it's always good to not rely on something new. Do not get vendor logged in too much. Pocket Base is something which I'm using, but it's a very limited use. Okay, so other than that, this MCP hub, it's basically the aggregated project which I created for my multiple MCP servers. Okay, so instead of running like each MCP server in different ports, I am able to run like all MCP servers with just one single port, and this just makes my life so easy. Okay, so all these services I haven't Dockerized. Okay, it's everything is running with like system D, and the reason to do that is because Docker is like it will make things harder for me, and there is no need of Docker. Like I do not really need that much scaling. I do might need in future, but I can actually without using any AWS load balancer, I can do that scaling with just Nginx itself. Okay, I decided to use like round robin algorithm of Nginx in order to do like load balancing and manually deploy servers, like three instances are like based on the real world situation. Like I can deploy more and more servers to be safe because these servers does not cost that much. So I can do it manually instead of those auto scaling groups of AWS. Like I don't want these things. Okay, so even the chat UI, which is Svelte, is using Node because like it's not static. So it's also running with Nginx. Now this development environment, sometimes what like developers you were you doing is like they used to SSH FS this MCP hub. So most of the work is now happening on MCP hub. Other components are highly stable. So this MCP hub, they used to use SSH FS to locally just like okay, like mount the file system, okay, of MCP hub. Now this is good because now you can just go to dev and MCP hub, and you can use the editor and do like you can do any work in this repository and just test it, okay, by just opening the logs here of MCP hub. You can test it, right? But okay, these bearer tokens are expired. Okay, we were doing some testing, but I realized like it's obviously not the best way. Okay, so in order to create a nice development environment locally, what I did is I came up with this really nice idea which I want to share with you, which is not so hard. Like I'm pretty sure I have mentioned it in some of my video. SSH tunneling. Okay, so since any developer can SSH into dev and server, I do not give like production environment SSH access to anyone, but I give SSH access to this dev and server. Okay, that's why we need like this development environment. Okay, and I also ensure like um so we are also using like a PostgreSQL and Redis server for caching. So everything basically is completely isolated, or basically there is no correlation between dev server and production. But aside that, I came up with this really nice idea which I want to implement right now because I haven't implemented this. That's why I'm recording this video. Okay, so reverse SSH tunnel. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to run this, or maybe this, I'm not sure, in the server, dev and server, and this will actually make our project So okay, let me go to DEV and MCP hub. So this is my local instance of MCP hub repo. And what I'm going to do now is I am going to run this. Let's just run this. Okay. And now it's fetching the .env from my .env server. This is what I like. And actually it's already running. So I created like MCP hub here too. So let me just run it. This video might be confusing, but I'm pretty sure for some people this video might be useful, okay? Like you are getting like some insight, okay? So we just started all my MCP servers one central way. So this was a good idea, in the beginning, like I was deploying all the MCP servers differently on different port, and it was getting so messy, and it was really hard to inject any like observability function or any common function, for example billing. It was really hard to inject such functions. So let me just quickly like think of some way. So I this is my local computer. I want to push this 9000 port on SSH dev n. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to run this SSH command, which is going to push this. Where should I do it? I think I should just open this. Yeah. So also run MCP hub here. MCP hub. Oops. MCP hub. Yeah. Run here. So let's just close this terminal. Okay. So 9000 will run on the local host of this devm server. Okay. Let's see if it works. Wow, it just SSH'd into it. It just SSH into it. I want to forward port into cloud. So I actually forgot this command. I made a video about it if you remember previously. I think yeah, this is how you can do it. I think it have done it. Let's just run like netstat. I think netstat is not installed, so sudo apt get install nettools. Mm-mm-mm. So what I'm thinking is, since these components are so dependent on each other, like for example, this MCP hub, if I just run it locally, I cannot do the development because it requires like all the other components in order to work. Okay, so it's really hard to do the local development of MCP hub. So people are just using SSHFS and just making direct changes in the server, and I do not allow to make any commit from the server to the Git repo. All right. So this is why, I am, what, let's just do it. Okay. So, uh, okay. So this 9000, I'm not sure it's port forwarded or is it like a locally running. I am pretty sure this is locally running. So let's just stop it and let me just grab like 9000. Hmm. I think it's still listening and I think it's listening this one. Let's just stop this server and now rerun it. Okay, it's still listening. So the MCP hub is installed. You know what? Let's just run this command. Mm-mm-mm. So restart this server. Can I run this server on a different port by just changing this? Yeah, yeah. Let's just make it 5 and now run it. Just to be clear. So now okay, it's still running on my server. Wow. I think like the shell script is just like junk code. So let's do one thing. Let's just run this command here only and see if it does anything. So okay, so it is running. So I believe it is. I don't know what these flags do. Uh, Minus a remote port forward. Okay, it is forwarding this port on remote server 9000. It is my localhost port on dev end. Okay, so if I see this, so yeah, there is something which okay. Let's just see if my MCP hub is running. It's like on the server. Yeah, it is saying it's failed. So I think it's not running. So let me just stop it and ensure it's not running. It's failed because most likely the port is already like in use. So so let's do one thing. Let's just test it. Okay, so go to test.box writer, and let's just tag to uh, Nano Banana, Fashion AI, Fashion AI. Let's just tag to Fashion AI. And I really like Fashion AI. This is my dress. No, this is my photo. And now it will now see if the logs come here. Yeah, logs are coming in my localhost. So such a good solution. Now I can do the development here on my localhost, and let me just provide some dress. Um, I'm not sure where are the dress pics. Yeah, this one. This is the dress. So now I can, open my Z editor and just do any local changes, and I will get the result. Like I can test in my development server with just one single command. So this is what I was trying to, convey. Like simple solutions are always alive. Okay. You don't really need to do something out of the world in order to achieve something which you can achieve with something very basic. Okay. So let me just show you like how, like I will go to my dev. So this is my local, and I will use like Z editor, and now I can do the programming in this horrible theme. Um, wow, there are so many good themes, but none of them is good enough. All right, so I can actually. Oh, wow, this theme changing thing is addictive. Yeah, this is cool. But not leave it. Okay. All right, this one. Wow, there is some error because it's running master branch, and yeah, we were doing some testing. That's why we changed it. I can fix it, but I will share the result somewhere in case if you want to see. So thanks for watching this video. So I hope you understood the concept. I'm pretty sure you must have lost it. Okay, so